Gervonta Davis and Artur Beterbiev got beef after some things were said by Artur Beterbiev and Artur Beterbiev's trainer, John Iceman Scully, which had Gervonta Davis take to the internet and call them both bums. Fortunately for the boxing world, this is just a, how can we say, misunderstanding. As people assume that Iceman Scully thinks that Gervonta Davis doesn't belong in the Hall of Fame if he was to retire right now. And Artur Beterbiev believes that Devin Haney's the better fighter than Gervonta Davis. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to be in both the lightweight division and we're going to be in the light heavyweight division, where we are talking about two of my absolute favorite fighters, the WBA lightweight champion, Gervonta Davis, and the undisputed light heavyweight champion of the world, Artur Beterbiev, who just got done beating Dimitri Bivol for the titles. And as you know, once that takes place and Artur Beterbiev's name gets big, they're going to ask Artur Beterbiev who his top 10 pound-for-pound fighters are. Artur Beterbiev answered the question. People didn't like his answer. And then his trainer, John Iceman Scully, or I believe he's one of the trainers for Artur Beterbiev, said that he didn't think Gervonta Davis should be in the Hall of Fame right now, but he will get in the Hall of Fame. Gervonta wasn't happy with it. And what we're going to say here is that it's not what those guys said. So before I get into it, though, let me welcome you back to the channel. Hit the subscribe button if you really like the channel. Thank you to everybody that supports the channel. If you really like the video, hey, please feel free to use the super thanks, which is right below. It's a great way to sponsor the channel and sponsor this video because, you know, we don't get corporate sponsorships because of what we're about to say in this video, which is the following. Gervonta Davis is absolutely positively going to the Hall of Fame, and John Iceman Scully knows it. And in fact, John Iceman Scully, in the interview where he's asked, the first thing that he said was, yeah, probably. Gervonta Davis going to the Hall of Fame, he said, yeah, probably. If he stopped fighting right now, would he go to the Hall of Fame? Yeah, probably. That's what he said. Now, he then said, well, you know, now, according to today and how modern people do it, you know, I don't really like it the way that they let people in now. Well, dude, I don't care. Because you just answered the question, is Gervonta Davis going into the Hall of Fame? The answer is probably. Honestly, the answer is yes. And I don't think he likes the fact that he's going in there. Whatever, it don't make a difference to the fact that he's going in there. And I don't have any disrespect or any will towards Iceman Scully. But we know full well that Tim Bradley just got in last class. And you know that Sean Porter is in this year's class. You know they're getting in. So they get in. So you know Gervonta's getting in. It's that simple. Because Gervonta Davis has achieved more than both of those guys. It's right there. There's plenty of Hall of Famers in there that have not done what Gervonta did. Now, when Iceman Scully said, well, I used to think that the way that I thought is that the Hall of Fame is for the elite of the elite of the elite. It's not, John. It's for the famous. That's why it says Hall of Fame. It's in the title. You are putting people in there that are famous. Somebody that helped grow the visibility of the sport. That's what Hall of Fame means. You are critical to the development of the sport and you are recognized by fans. So therefore you belong in the Hall of the Famous. Gervonta Davis fits that category very well as a 3-division champion, as an undefeated fighter with an over 90% knockout ratio, a guy that's one of the biggest draws in boxing. Without a doubt, this man is getting into the Hall of Fame, and John Scully knows it. He can say, oh, okay, yeah, maybe, but no, he knows it. Now, John Scully ain't never getting in there as a fighter. He may get in there as a trainer, and if he gets in there as a trainer, God bless him, because he's got a great fighter in Artur Beterbiev, which brings us to our second point, where people said that Artur Beterbiev, when he was asked who his top fighters are, pound for pound, he had Devin Haney in there, and he didn't have Gervonta. My answer to that is, so what? I'm a big Artur Beterbiev fan. I listen to what Artur Beterbiev says. Most people don't listen to what Artur Beterbiev says and haven't been listening to what Artur Beterbiev has been saying for years. I know who Artur, I've actually met his team because his team was trying to get away from Jean-Michel. And I had a conversation with them about a couple things when they were trying to get away from Jean-Michel, and they wound up getting away from Jean-Michel, not because of my advice or whatever, but just generally the conversations. I knew what was going on, and I've been paying attention to him since then. Artur Beterbiev is a beast. But here's the thing about him putting Devin in the top 10. Artur Beterbiev doesn't watch boxing. He doesn't watch. If you listen to Artur Beterbiev talk about what he does in boxing, the only thing that he does is he trains. That's it. He trains himself to fight. He does not watch fighters or pay attention to fighters that are not in his weight division that he's not going to be fighting. He focuses himself on taking care of his life outside the ring. He's a devout Muslim, from my understanding. So he's a devout Muslim. He has he's a very religious person. That's his life. And he comes in and he boxes. And other than that, he ain't paying attention to boxing. So he doesn't know how good these fighters are, which is obvious when you see that he put Devin Haney in his top 10 because let me just give a number out, right? So I'm not trying to hear all this stuff. Now, Gervonta called Artur Beterbiev a bum or said he's trash and that he's ass or whatever, you're big, strong, dope. He snapped out. He snapped on John Scully a little bit. He probably jumped on John Scully because he probably didn't realize that John Scully didn't say he didn't belong in there. But he just didn't like the fact that how boxing is today. But guess what? Whole lot of people our age, because I think John Scully's a couple years older than me. Whole bunch of our people our age don't like the way that boxing is going or the way that society is going since we came up. But hey, man, much of that is our fault. Because we're the ones that put a lot of these rules in places and set a lot of this stuff, the tone for a lot of this stuff going on that we ourselves don't like. It's the natural consequences of a lot of our behaviors and the behaviors of the people that came before us. But at the end of the day, the people that are coming up now have to live under the standards of the people that are coming up now. And it's very unfair for John Scully to put that on Gervonta Davis because Gervonta Davis is an excellent fighter and Iceman Scully knows full well that he is. But, we constantly want to gripe and add dissatisfaction and express our dissatisfaction about the sport that we love. And that's cool. But, you know full well that kid's going to the Hall of Fame. And you know damn well that Devin Haney ain't better than him. So, hey, it is what it is. But, at the end of the day, Artur Beterbiev is going into that Hall of Fame too. Like Gervonta said, you're that big-ass dude, Beterbiev ain't going into the Hall. Yeah, he is. He's going into the Hall of Fame, and Gervonta's going in there too. And matter of fact, it's because Beterbiev's going in there. It's because Beterbiev's going in there that dang well Gervonta Davis is going in there. The fact that any of these dudes are going in there that are fighting right now, any active fighter going in there right now is the reason Gervonta Davis is going in there. Even Canelo, even Terrence Crawford. Because if you set that bar higher than Gervonta Davis, bro, ain't nobody getting in that dang thing. That's my take on the matter. You can like it or lump it, but please leave a comment in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.